Oh, so this one is on how to prepare for potential job loss. COVID-19 has caused economic around the world to take a turn for the worse, and it's caused millions of people to lose their jobs. Millions more are starting to face a future which may also involve job loss. For these people, preparing for a potential job loss has become a high priority. If this is the case for you as well, there are several steps you can take to financially prepare for potential job loss now and in the future. If you're facing an economic downturn, company layoffs, etc. So you have understanding the worst case scenario. One of the first steps you want to take if you are facing potential job loss is to fully understand the worst case scenario you could be facing. For example, if you are a dual income household, your worst case scenario might be both earned income earners lose their job at the same time. While understanding the worst case scenario is not fun, it can help you to start preparing to make this scenario better. You can start to build an emergency fund, work to increase your income, or adjust your household spending before you are in a financial difficult situation. Next, start building up that emergency fund. After understanding your worst case scenario, you may then want to start building up an emergency fund. Most financial experts recommend that you should have an emergency fund of at least 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. When considering how much your emergency fund should be, you may want to assume that your household expenses do not change from your recent spending patterns over the past year or so. While you may be able to cut down on your expenses after a job loss, you still want to be prepared in case you cannot do so. Your credit cards and debit card companies may have online spending tools that you can use to understand your spending habits with your cards. In terms of a timeline for building up an emergency fund, ideally, you would like to have your fund fully in place before any job loss. If you think a job loss might occur for you in the short term, then you may want to be fairly aggressive in saving cash for an emergency fund. So to start building up your emergency fund, you may want to follow a couple tips. Save whenever you can. Even small amounts can help. For example, some people try to contribute a few dollars a day to let it build up. Another tip is to separate your bank account to hold your emergency funds. This has multiple benefits, including making it easier to track and allow you to take advantage of higher yield savings accounts. Another tip is include contributing to your emergency fund as part of your monthly household budget. That's how I do it. I put it in my budget that I have to set aside so much every month for my emergency money. So the next thing says proactively adjust your budget. Another step you may want to take to prepare for a potential job loss is to adjust your household budget proactively. In other words, start spending less where you can today so you don't have to make as many adjustments if you do in fact lose your income. Once again, most credit and debit card companies allow online spending, and analyst tools are quite helpful. These tools can show you what categories you spend money on and how much you spend on these categories each month. Once you understand your spending trends, you can see areas where you might be able to lower your expenses. One other potential strategy for actively changing your budget is to figure out what your budget would look like if you had a major drop in income. For example, if your income dropped 50%, what would your budget look like? This can help you prioritize your spending and truly understand your needs versus your wants. Another tip is to find additional income sources. If you're facing a potential job loss, another action you may want to consider taking is to find additional sources of income that you can use to supplement your income. In particular, finding a flexible job that can start working alongside your current job can help you build up experience with an additional job or side hustle. For example, if you find a side job on a freelancing platform or as a delivery driver, you can start figuring out the best way for you to make money, the most out of your money from these platforms now. So then the last little tip is take care of yourself, both financially and mentally. When facing a potential job loss, it is important to take care of yourself financially. Understand your worst case scenario and take steps to improve your financial position to the best of your ability. It is also important to remember that you need to take care of yourself mentally and emotionally as well. Job loss or even potential job loss can have strong psychological effects on people facing it. It can be scary and cause significant mental stress. So, as you consider how to take care of yourself financially, you may also want to start considering how to take care of yourself mentally. You may want to discuss your concerns with friends or coworkers who may be facing the same situation or find some way to relax, such as meditation, whatever method you choose. The important thing is to remember that taking care of yourself is not just a financial conversation.